Good morning, everybody. My name is Mr. Fall Sheikh Sidati, and I'm an English teacher at Babakar Kobandao High School. It started when the government decided to reopen the classes, and we were obliged to go back to school. So, at the D-Day, I went to school, and I did my courses correctly with my students, and I even told them that the virus is not here, but be careful because teachers from other areas can bring it here. And we were just I was just trying to sensitize them to be a little bit to be more careful, and everything was okay. But during the weekend, I felt some headache and fever also, and I thought that it was flu. I went to the drugstore and bought there some medicines, and I took them. So it was okay during Sunday. On Monday, I was supposed to have class, but unfortunately, I couldn't go. So I was obliged to call the school authorities to tell them that there is a problem. I couldn't come. So they recommended me a doctor, and that one called me, and I went there, and I did the test. So one day after, they called me and they told me that I contracted the virus, COVID-19, and it was a kind of earthquake for me, a shock for me, because seeing people dying in the other countries such as France or Italy or Spain, and having that kind of news was a little bit difficult for me. So probably in Chess, because my native town is Chess, and while leaving Chess, the authorities, they told me that I met some people who contracted the virus, and they infected me, and it was very difficult, because the day after also, my wife also was tested, and they told me also she also contracted the virus. So it was heartbroken for me, and with my little kids, I was a little bit afraid of what is going to come. So concerning my family, I couldn't inform my mother because it could be a shock for her. I just informed my sister and my brother, and the academic authorities, they were aware of the situation, and they supported me very well. My colleagues at the beginning, they were a little bit afraid, but they gave me also their support, because they called me. Some people also sent me messages, and it was something that helped me to cope with the virus. So concerning the colleagues, there were no problem, because so they were intellectual. They are intellectuals, and I know that I had good relationships with them. But concerning the population, people sometimes they are afraid, but mentally I'm strong. So I faced them and showed them that you can be ill and recover from that illness and continue your activities without any problem. And for me, it was not something that was shameful. I didn't do something that was bad, or something that could be bad for the society. It was not a shameful disease for me. So mentally, I was strong. My problem was the contact that I had with the people. This was my problem. But concerning stigmatization, I didn't have any problem. Mentally, I was strong. Okay. For those people, I can tell them that this virus really exists. It really exists. If you don't know people who have it or something like that, perhaps you haven't met them, but you just have to be a little bit careful because it exists. I know that it exists. We have to, I can tell them that they should respect the barriers such as wearing masks, social distancing, and be more careful because it really exists. And seeing European people dying, etc., this can be a kind of advice for them. So, I am going there today, and I know that I will be okay over there because I have some relationship with people over there, strong relationship with my colleagues, and also my students, because my students are my friends. And going there can also help me to more sensitize them to be aware of the situation. And I think that I won't have any problem going back in my classes. So I just have to advise them to be careful because we can have a second wave, and it could be, or it would be very devastating. So everybody has to be ready and has to be careful also because this virus exists really.